Hello, my name is Connor Malason for Con4Tutorials, and in the last video we created our enemy object. Didn't do much programming for him, but we created him. In this video we're going to be creating the border object, and we're going to finish up programming for the player and the enemy. So let's create a new object. Go to border and assign the sprite border to it. And we're going to add a new, actually no, we're not programming anything for this border right now, so I'm going to press OK because we're finished with that object. That's all we need to do. We're going to start with finishing up on the player object. And all we need to do for the player object is make the game over appear when he hits an enemy, and make him stop when he hits the border, because we don't want him going all the way off the screen. So we're going to add an event and go to, both of these are going to be collision events, and we're going to go to collision border. And we're going to go to the move object and move him onto the actions and make him stop. And the speed does not matter. We could set it to that high and it wouldn't make a difference. So let's just set it to 0. It doesn't matter. Okay, so he's going to start stopping, but I forgot to do something. We have to go over to this border object, and there's this little check mark called solid. And if we check that, there are a number of things we can do with this. One of them we will address when we're programming this, but one thing is this collision and this stop, for whatever reason, I'm really not sure how it works, but it behaves differently. This stopping action, if the border is solid. If it wasn't solid, then it would potentially cause problems. So set that border to solid, and we also need it for solid when we're programming the enemy. So there we go. We have that, and we gotta go to collision with the enemy, and a different tab this time. We're going to the main 2 tab down here. And in the info section, we're going to use the display message action. And we're going to make this display game over. And in the same tab, main 2, on the game section, we're going to make it end the game. Perfect. So now the game will end. And that's that. That is all we have to do for the player object. The player object is completely finished. Now we're going to do... Well, actually, that's not true. We need... in a future video, I think the 5th video, maybe the 4th, we are going to make... not the 5th video, the 5th part, or the 4th part. We're going to make the sound a sound play when this happens. Like a lose sound. It goes nah, 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 nah. Yeah, okay. Now let's finish the enemy object. And what we need to do here is we need to make it, when it collides with the border object, it will bounce off. And there is a very, very convenient command built into Game Maker for this in the Move tab called bounce. And we can make it set to precisely, so it's going to bounce precisely off of the walls, and it's going to bounce only against solid objects, right? Then we're going to make another collide event with enemy, and we're going to make the enemies bounce off of each other. So when the enemy collides with enemy, so that means if this enemy collides with another enemy that's in the room, then it will bounce off of that object. Precisely all objects, because this object isn't solid. And I want to make a note here, do not make it solid in this case, because if you make it solid, then when the 2 enemies collide with each other, they'll just get stuck on each other. For whatever reason, again, I'm really not sure how it works. I think that's all we need to do. That's it. We have all the basic gameplay mechanics down. in the programming section. Next, we're going to make a background for our room, which will come in the part after the backgrounds part. So thank you for watching.